Why isn't what happened and what went on between you and the Clinton Foundation, why isn't it what Mr. Trump calls pay to play?
Well, everything I did as Secretary of State was in furtherance of our country's interests and our values. The State Department has said that. I think that's been proven. But I am happy. In fact, I'm thrilled to talk about the Clinton Foundation.
And then she went on, and I had to interrupt her. There was a new revelation this week that Hillary Clinton was involved in trying to get a $12 million donation to the foundation from the King of Morocco. Why wasn't that classic pay to play?
Well, first of all, it's not news that the Clinton Global Initiative had their meeting in Morocco. Everybody knew that. And it's also not news that Hillary Clinton didn't go to it. That was in the emails as well. So there's nothing new here. And Donald Trump is trying to attack Secretary Clinton on this because, as you said, he is down in the polls. He's struggling. And as Secretary Clinton said, we are glad to put her foundation up against his any day.
But Robbie, there is some new stuff because we have gotten the emails that indicates what was going on. This was happening in 2015, just as she was about to announce her campaign for president, and the emails show, and I'm going to go through some of them, you were not happy at all with the idea of this meeting and her going there at that particular point. January 18th email from Uma Abedin to you. It will break a lot of China to back out now when we had so many opportunities to do it in the past few months. She, Clinton, created this mess, and she knows it. Same day you write, HRC is still considering. March 24th, you to John Podesta. Uma said it was still happening, then said that she's going to cancel at the last minute, but it sounded a little tentative, just sounded more up in the air than I thought it was. You didn't want this huge contribution from the King of Morocco just as Clinton was announcing for president.
Well, I didn't want anything on her schedule that was going to distract from the campaign. And again, the Clinton Global Initiative had this meeting scheduled in Morocco.
But it was the big money from a foreign person to the foundation at the time she's running for president.
This was, as you can see in those emails, this was a scheduling matter, and we didn't want her going overseas. I didn't want her going overseas before the campaign was kicking off. But again, these are stolen documents, stolen by the Russians. It's now confirmed from John Podesta. They are being put out for this purpose.
Well,
the Russians and Donald Trump want this campaign to be something else right now.
Well, let me just speak to that, though, because, you know, the Trump tax returns were stolen as well when they were mailed to the New York Times. You guys didn't object to that. In fact, you jumped all over them.
Well, we don't know where those tax returns come from.
Well, they were clearly stolen.
We don't know, and you'd have to work with
do you think that Trump had given them?
I don't know. I don't know how they got to the New York Times.
I guess what I'm saying is if we're looking at the fruits of that theft, and I will call it a theft, it's fair to look at the fruits of your theft.
I think what's particularly disturbing in this situation is that the intelligence community has now confirmed that John Podesta's emails and the DNC emails were stolen by the Russians.
I know about the Russian connection. I'm talking about the $12 million from the King of Morocco and the fact that this continues to sort of show the line between private and public and Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation.
I think we got to look at what decisions were made. There was a meeting in Morocco. Secretary Clinton decided not to go, focus on her campaign here. And again, we're having this discussion because the Russians
Chelsea Clinton went, correct?
My understanding is that they did go, but she did not. And again, this is the discussion the Russians want us to be having. They stole this information. They're selectively leaking. I can't even verify any of the information that you have there. We simply don't have enough time as a campaign
I promise you, if these were not true, you'd tell us.
Why don't you wake up and smell what you shoveling?